Jagdish Khattar, CMD at Carnation Auto, joins us now on the show from Delhi. Also, Sandeep Kumar Bapna, MD at 4 Point Group, joins in on the show right now. Mr. Khattar, first let me get you in. Auto sales numbers for the month of March for both four-wheelers as well as two-wheelers have been below estimates. Do you think that demand will continue to remain under pressure for the next few months too?
Yeah, I think it looks like it because this slowdown we have been seeing for the last couple of months. Of course, there is always an element of stock correction. Dealers may be having a large stock, so some supplies from the manufacturers slow down so that they can carry out the stock correction. So that could have taken place, but on the whole, the market has slowed down. And even if you look at the core industries data today, for the first time after 2005, it is negative. And the other thing is really the two-wheeler sales are also not doing so well. I mean, at least a major player like Hero and all, they have not done so well. So yes, there seems to be a slowdown, and one doesn't see an immediate improvement. I mean, unless something major happens, that's a different thing, but it doesn't look like it.
Sandeep, what is your understanding? Do you think auto industry currently is going through a cyclical slowdown, or it is actually a bigger problem? Auto industry is going through a structural slowdown.
I think it's not a cyclical one, because one of the major reasons why the slowdown has suddenly erupted is the whole drought situation in the center of Maharashtra and other places around, and the monsoon not being good. Now we are expecting that the coming monsoons should be good. So by till September, so we don't feel that we'll get any good demand coming up. And even if that happens, then the demand will be at a very low growth, kind of a low single digit growth. But beyond that, I think it is all depending on the kind of stability in the government, which if it happens, then only I feel that the auto sector can look at a good growth in the coming months after a stable government comes in.
Sandeep, but is an average auto buyer really bothered about elections and what will happen to interest rates and who will come back into power? I mean, auto is something which is used for commuting purposes, it is used for luxury purposes, and people who buy auto cars, they rarely delay or prepone the purchases because of election and government action.
Actually, if you go to see, a lot of people delay their auto purchases because of their own internal thought process, wherein they feel that listen, I don't know whether I'll have my job at the same position, the kind of increments which I want, would I have it? So generally you see that products like Maruti or Hero, these are the kind of products which a person in such kind of hard times would look at. Okay, if I require a transportation requirement, and if I have to buy a product, let me not take a risk and let me buy something which is tried and tested. But if you see other players like all the other new entrants and some of the older players, you'll find that these people, customers are not getting very aggressive. They are not going all out and buying those products. As far as luxury goes, yes, that segment is one thing wherein it doesn't get affected by any cyclical problems or any this thing, because that segment is totally different, and I foresee that there you can see a good requirement coming up. But the whole sentiment in the market is so dried down right now with the kind of drought situation, with this kind of uncertainty which is there in the market. So that's where we feel that this is really going to hit us extremely bad. Moreover, we've seen another trend which has suddenly started, that petrol products, resale value of petrol products have suddenly jumped. Which wasn't the case earlier. If you would have a diesel product on your lot, you would find that diesel would go very well, and plus it would give us good returns on our investment. But suddenly we are finding that petrol vehicles are also now giving good returns because of the rationalization in the petrol prices which the government has committed and is doing now and then.
Mr. Khattar, though, I mean, do you think that rising inventory and slowing demand will only lead to rising discounts and higher dealer commissions, especially for four-wheelers as well as commercial vehicles, and in turn then balance out the situation?
As far as this discounts is concerned, I've been of a firm believer that across the board discounts do not persuade many people to buy. What you are really doing is the people who are going to buy, you are giving them a discount. So when their overall sentiment is not so good, there has to be a mix of discount and some incentives to the salespeople to do it. But coming back to the, really the commercial vehicles really depends on the whole economy. I mean, if you look at in the last year or so, your entire Goa iron ore is non-functional. You are in Karnataka, steel plants and mines, they are all in a problem. In Odisha it is the same. After all, these are the areas where the goods carrier and all others are utilized. If there is a slowdown or the mining activities have come to a stop or have been reduced considerably, so obviously this effect will take place.
Sandeep, which particular car segment has taken the worst hit, A, B or C?
Difficult question. I would say that it's the B and C segment, wherein we are taking a hit on. In fact, more of C actually. The range of indigo and products in that range, wherein we find that customers who used to buy those products would have been customers who are upgrading from their regular hatchbacks to that sedan model, but that is not happening because I think they're delaying their purchases, and as Khattar sir said that discounts don't actually make a person feel to buy right now, but it just makes those fence-sitters who are going to buy just prepone their purchases. So that's how I feel it will happen.
What is happening to the inventory, Sandeep? You have the first-hand advantage. You know the real absolute ground reality. Auto companies are telling us a different story. They are confident that inventory pipeline will reduce. But do you think inventory pile-up is a big problem now?
No, I think they are correct. Auto companies have actually helped us in the last quarter, in fact, to reduce our inventories by number one is not pushing sales onto us, and then on top of that by luring customers by giving attractive schemes and incentives for customers to come and buy. So in effect our inventories are manageable levels right now, and therefore they have actually taken a hit which you see in products like Maruti and Hero and others, wherein there is a reduction in their own sale. But I feel that inventories right now across the board are not unmanageable situations. They're very much manageable.
Mr. Khattar, Honda has now forayed into diesel cars as well. Ford will launch a new SUV soon. Competition is clearly rising for established players like Maruti for variants like Ertiga and Swift. Do you think Maruti is likely to lose market share as competition launches new products?
Listen, it's very difficult the way you have framed the question. But the point is, now when the diesel and petrol distortion is getting reduced, then it will be the product which will sell. If the Ertiga is doing well, the customers have liked it, it will continue doing well. If there is another model which is product by itself, irrespective of being only diesel, if it is good, it will sell. So coming back to your answer, now that the differential gets reduced, now the cars will be sold on merit, and whichever manufacturer's product meets more the needs of the customer, the pricing is correct, all other things are there, they will sell. So I think that part of it now will be taken care of.
Mr. Thakur, recently we have seen production cuts announcement by auto companies like Maruti and Hero MotoCorp, and also by auto ancillary companies like Bosch. will sales for month of March and Feb slowing down, do you expect that more auto companies will announce more production cuts?
Yeah, just keep one thing in mind, that any car which is being produced in April, I think the manufacturers would have decided the production plan sometimes in December, January, if not earlier. If the part is to be imported, then it's much earlier. So what has happened is that certainly for the last couple of months, the market went down, but the production plan was still in operation. So manufacturers had to produce. So now that the picture is clear, I think the manufacturers will now be calibrating their production according to the demand. So coming back to your question, some cuts, production cuts were taken in order to rationalize the inventory. Depending upon manufacturer, how much of quantity they had produced more than what was required. Now as soon as that gets rationalized, then I think the production could become normal, but what would really happen is they might reduce daily production, or they might have a day or two off in order to balance the demand and supply. Yes, if the capacities have increased, so if the market doesn't pick up, if the market continues like this, manufacturers will have to shut down their plants for a day or two or three depending upon their inventory position.
And the final question, 30 seconds to answer this one, for someone who's watching the show and is planning to buy a new car. Should they delay and defer that decision? Because if you expect sales will not pick up in next 6 months, then obviously we could be staring a lot of discounts.
I feel that
be honest about it.
I'm sorry?
Be honest about it. I'm sure you'd like to give discount if sales will not pick up.